All right, let's cut straight to it. El Salvador. For years, the name alone conjured up images of, well, let's be honest, some pretty gnarly headlines. It was a place many Americans wouldn't even point to on a map, let alone consider visiting. We're talking about a country that, not too long ago, had one of the highest murder rates on the planet. Like, seriously, off the charts dangerous in certain areas. But here's the kicker. The thing that's got everyone scratching their heads and taking a second look. That's changing. And it's changing at a speed that's almost unbelievable. We're talking a full-on 180-degree turn. Under its current leadership, El Salvador has launched an unprecedented crackdown on gang violence. Now the methods, definitely controversial, sparking debates worldwide about rights versus results. But the numbers, they speak for themselves. Homicide rates have plummeted. Neighborhoods once considered no-go zones are now seeing kids playing in the streets. It's a transformation so drastic, it's making international news. And for a country this small, about the size of Massachusetts, packing in over 6 million people, that's a big deal. This isn't just a fresh coat of paint. It's like they're trying to rebuild the entire house, foundation up. And it's forcing everyone to ask, is El Salvador actually becoming safe? More than that, is it becoming a hotspot? Now hold on to your hats, because if the security turnaround didn't grab you, this next part will. In 2021, El Salvador did something no other country on earth had ever done. They made Bitcoin legal tender. Yeah, you heard that right. Alongside the US dollar, which has been their official currency for years, you can now legally pay for anything, from a cup of coffee to, well, probably not a house yet, but you get the idea, with Bitcoin. The president, Nayib Bukele, a millennial who's pretty much always online, pitched it as a way to boost the economy, attract investment, and get more of the 70% of Salvadorans who don't have bank accounts into the financial system. They even airdropped $30 worth of Bitcoin to every citizen with a national digital wallet called Chivo. They've installed hundreds of Bitcoin ATMs, and there are plans for a Bitcoin city, a tax-free haven powered by geothermal energy from a volcano. No income tax, no property tax, no capital gains tax. Sounds like something out of a cyberpunk novel, right? But it's happening. Of course, it's been a roller coaster. The International Monetary Fund raised its eyebrows, economists are split, and the volatility of Bitcoin itself has made for a bumpy ride for everyday Salvadorans. But love it or hate it, you can't deny it's a bold, high-stakes experiment. This tiny Central American nation is basically the main character in the world's biggest crypto story right now, and everyone's watching to see how this chapter ends. Okay, so we've got a country flipping its safety script and diving headfirst into the crypto future. But what does that mean for your wallet? This is where things get really interesting for anyone who's ever looked at their rent bill and felt a piece of their soul die. Living in El Salvador can be ridiculously cheap. I mean, shockingly affordable, especially when you remember they use the US dollar, so there's no confusing exchange rates. We're talking about renting a one-bedroom apartment in the city center of San Salvador, the capital, for maybe $300 to $500 US a month. Get outside the main drag or into smaller towns, that can drop to $150, maybe $250. Seriously, a full meal at a local spot, you're looking at $3 to $6. Street food, like the legendary pupusas, thick corn tortillas stuffed with cheese, beans, or meat, we're talking $1 or $2 to fill you up. If you're cooking at home, your grocery bill for one person might hover around $100 to $150 a month. Transportation? Local buses are dirt cheap, like 25 to 50 cents a ride. Yeah, the buses might not be the newest models you've ever seen, but they get you there. Overall, a single person could live comfortably in a major Salvadoran city on about $700 US a month. Compare that to what you're shelling out in any major US city. It's a night and day difference, a potential 50 to 70% savings. That's not just a little extra pocket money, that's a different lifestyle. If you're finding these kinds of deep dives into how the world really works valuable, and you're thinking about leveling up your own life with fresh perspectives, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. We drop intel like this all the time, and you don't want to miss what's next. El Salvador might be the smallest country in mainland Central America, covering just over 8,000 square miles, but it punches way above its weight in natural drama. They don't call it La Tierra de los Volcanes, the land of volcanoes, for nothing. It's got over 20 of them, with at least 6 still active. This place sits right on the Pacific Ring of Fire, so things get geologically spicy. You've got towering cones like Ilamatepe, also known as Santa Ana Volcano, the country's highest, with a stunning turquoise crater lake that looks like something from another planet. Then there's Izalco, once called the Lighthouse of the Pacific, because it erupted almost continuously for nearly 200 years, its glow visible for miles offshore. But here's the wild part. Salvadorans don't just live in the shadow of these ticking time bombs, they harness their power. About 25% of the country's electricity comes from geothermal energy. And these volcanoes, they're major tourist draws. Hiking, hot springs, crater views, it's an adventurous playground. And speaking of adventure, let's talk about the coast. With over 180 miles of Pacific shoreline, El Salvador is a legitimate surfing paradise. Beaches like El Tunco are legendary for their powerful, consistent waves year-round. Punta Roca, that's a world-class break, hosting international competitions. And the best part? It's still relatively low-key and affordable compared to other surf meccas. You can rent a board and get lessons for a fraction of what you'd pay in Hawaii or even Costa Rica. Plus, many of the best spots are just an hour's drive from the international airport. Beyond the headlines and the surf, El Salvador holds some seriously deep history. Ever heard of Joya de Serén? Probably not, but you should have. They call it the Pompeii of the Americas. Around the year 600 AD, a nearby volcano, Loma Caldera, blew its top and completely buried this small Mayan farming village under 14 to 26 feet of ash. Just like Pompeii, the ash acted as a perfect preservative. We're not talking grand temples of kings and priests here. Joya de Serén gives us an uncannily clear snapshot of everyday Mayan life. Their thatched roof homes, their kitchens, food storage, tools, even footprints left in the cooling ash. It's so unique that UNESCO declared it a World Heritage Site back in 1993. It's like stepping back in time 1,400 years. Then you have sites like Tazumal, one of the most important and best preserved Mayan complexes in the country, with pyramids and structures that whisper tales of a civilization that thrived here long before Europeans ever dreamed of crossing the Atlantic. It's a potent reminder that this land has seen empires rise and fall for centuries. Here's a fact that'll perk you up. Salvadoran coffee was once, believe it or not, more valuable than gold. No joke. Back in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, as coffee expansion exploded in Europe and the States, El Salvador's high-altitude, volcanic soil-grown Arabica beans became liquid gold, or black gold as they called it. This stuff had a distinct flavor profile, clean, low bitterness, sweet aftertaste that was incredibly sought after. And because it was mostly grown on small farms and hand-picked in challenging mountain terrain, it was scarce. For a period, the export price of this premium Salvadoran coffee actually outstripped the price of gold on the international market. Today, while it's not the coffee powerhouse it once was, beans from regions like Apaneca and Ilamatepe are still considered top tier, winning international awards. So that cup of specialty coffee you're sipping, it might just have a wilder history than you think. So what's the real El Salvador like day to day? The name itself, El Salvador, means the Savior in Spanish, a direct nod to Jesus Christ. The capital, San Salvador, means Holy Savior. This deep religious current runs through the country, with over 80% of the population identifying as Christian. You see it in the ancient churches and the vibrant religious festivals like Semana Santa or Holy Week, which, while maybe not on the same massive scale as Spain, is still packed with emotion and local color. Think processions, flower carpets, and a whole lot of community spirit. But it's not all solemn. Festivals like the Fiesta de la Cruz de Mayo, the Festival of the Cross in May,
blends solemn rituals with lively music and dance. And the food. We already mentioned pupusas, the national dish. You've also got yuca frita con chicharrón, crispy fried cassava with fried pork and a tangy cabbage slaw. Or un desayuno típico, a traditional breakfast with fried eggs, beans, fried plantains, cream, and tortillas. It's hearty, no frills, down-to-earth stuff that tells you a lot about the people. Resilient, practical, and deeply connected to their roots. This blend of indigenous heritage and Spanish colonial influence has created a unique Salvadoran character, approachable and friendly, but with an underlying strength forged through centuries of, well, everything we've just talked about.
So the next time you hear about El Salvador, maybe you'll think beyond the old headlines. Maybe you'll picture the volcanoes, the surf, the incredibly low cost of living in US dollars, or the audacious Bitcoin experiment. It's a country in fast forward, writing a new, unexpected chapter. What part of El Salvador's story surprised you the most? The safety turnaround, the Bitcoin bet, or something else? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you missed our last deep dive into